In the new movie Gladiator II, Caracalla and his brother Geta are portrayed as cruel and power-hungry rulers. But the truth is far more shocking. Imagine an emperor so consumed by ambition that he murdered his brother in front of their own mother, massacred an entire city for mocking him, and arranged a marriage with a Parthian princess only to slaughter her and the entire wedding in cold blood. This is the story of Caracalla, a ruler whose life was a dizzying spiral of bloodshed, tyranny, and betrayal. From empire-wide purges to his obsession with Alexander the Great, Caracalla's reign left a legacy of terror that makes Hollywood's betrayal look tame. Caracalla was born on April 4th, 188 CE in modern-day Lyon. His father Septimus Severus was a North African general of Punic descent who clawed his way to power during the Year of the Five Emperors in 193 CE. The Year of the Five Emperors was a period when five rival claimants fought to control for the power of Rome. Emerging victorious, Severus established the Severan dynasty. To secure his lineage, Severus elevated his son Caracalla as co-emperor when the boy was only 9 years old. The young ruler was given the name Marcus Aurelius Antonius to tie him to the respected Antonine dynasty and the legacy of the Stoic emperor, of course. However, his infamous nickname Caracalla came from a simple colloquial. It was a far less noble origin for a name that will echo through history. Caracalla had a younger brother, Geta, born just 11 months after him. Though the boys were close as children, their relationship grew bitter and hostile as they aged. Despite Severus's attempts to present them as a united front, the rivalry between the brothers was no secret. In 208 CE, to prepare his sons for rulership and mend their relationship, Severus took both boys on a military campaign to Britain. The Romans were fighting the Caledonian tribes in what is now Scotland, but the campaign proved grueling. The tribes waged a guerrilla war, ambushing Roman forces in the dense forests. For Severus, the campaign was more than just a military endeavor. It was a chance to show his sons the responsibility of leadership. However, the harsh conditions took a toll on the aging Severus, who was already suffering from gout. In early 211 CE, he died in Eboracum, modern-day York, purportedly telling his sons before he died, "Be harmonious, enrich the soldiers, and scorn all others." His words would fall on deaf ears. Returning to Rome as co-emperors, Caracalla and Geta divided the imperial palace and surrounded themselves with separate factions. They refused to eat together and even considered splitting the empire. The stage was set for a deadly confrontation. In December 211 CE, Caracalla invited Geta to a supposed peace meeting arranged by their mother, Julia Doma. When Geta arrived, Caracalla's guards stormed the room and murdered him in their mother's arms. Geta's cries for help went unanswered, and Julia was left to witness the horrifying scene. But Caracalla's vengeance didn't stop at his brother's death, no. He went to terrifying lengths to erase Geta's existence entirely. Caracalla ordered a damnatio memoriae, a practice in Roman politics that involved obliterating all traces of a person's memory. Statues of Geta were destroyed or defaced. His name was chiseled off inscriptions, and coins bearing his likeness were melted down. It even became illegal to speak Geta's name in public. Perhaps the most haunting symbol of this erasure is a surviving family portrait of the Severans, where Geta's face has been scraped away, leaving a ghostly void. The damnatio memoriae wasn't just an act of erasure, it was a warning to Rome. Crossing Caracalla didn't mean just dying. It meant annihilation from history itself. With his brother dead, Caracalla turned his attention to consolidating his power. In 212 CE, he issued the Constitutio Antoniana. Definitely mispronounced that, but let's move on. It was basically an order that granted Roman citizenship to nearly all free inhabitants of the empire. On the surface, this seemed like an extraordinary act of inclusivity, making Rome's vast and diverse population feel more united under a single banner. However, Caracalla's motives were far from noble. The command was a clever political maneuver designed to refill Rome's depleted treasury. Citizenship meant more people could be taxed, and Caracalla used this to fund his beloved military. He also raised taxes on inheritance and slaves, adding even more to the imperial coffers. This supposed act of unity was in reality a means to ensure Caracalla's soldiers remained loyal, as his father did tell him to always make sure that the soldiers were well fed and well paid. But still, it was a very betrayal to the people he's supposed to serve. Caracalla saw himself as a soldier above all else. He doubled the pay of his legions, and he often shared in their hardships, marching alongside them and enduring the same conditions. This won him the undying loyalty of the army, but it came at a steep financial cost too. Rome's economy buckled under the strain of his military expenditures. His obsession with Alexander the Great fueled his ambition. Caracalla modeled himself after the legendary conqueror, organizing a special Macedonian-style phalanx of 16,000 soldiers and traveling the same route Alexander had taken centuries earlier. His dream was to conquer the East, just like Alexander, but his method would soon prove disastrous. In 215 CE, Caracalla arrived in Alexandria, Egypt, a city founded by Alexander the Great himself. He expected a hero's welcome, envisioning himself as Alexander's successor. Initially, the Alexandrians greeted him warmly, but their enthusiasm soon decreased. Known for their sharp wit and their humor, the Alexandrians began mocking Caracalla, and particularly his murder of Geta, his brother. Angered by their insult, Caracalla retaliated with unprecedented violence. He ordered his legions to massacre a significant portion of the city's population, leaving thousands dead over several days. The slaughter left Alexandria, once a symbol of cultural and intellectual brilliance, devastated. Ironically, in trying to emulate Alexander's greatness, Caracalla did the opposite. He annihilated the very city that represented Alexander's greatness. Fresh from his atrocities in Alexandria, Caracalla turned his attention to the Parthian Empire, Rome's eastern rival. Despite lacking justification for war, Caracalla launched a campaign in 216 CE, hoping to secure glory on the battlefield. However, by the time he arrived, the situation had changed. A new and more competent Parthian king, Artabanus V, had stabilized the realm. Desperate to save face, Caracalla proposed a political marriage to one of Artabanus' daughters, intending to use the union to claim Parthia as a Roman territory. Artabanus, wary of Caracalla's motives, likely saw through the ruse but decided to still attend the diplomatic banquet, perhaps to avoid immediate conflict or as a calculated move to stall Roman aggression. However, Caracalla had no intention of peace. In a move similar to his betrayal of Geta, Caracalla ordered the slaughter of Parthians during the banquet. Although Artabanus narrowly escaped, the treachery rallied the Parthians against Rome and solidified the resolve to resist the emperor's ambitions. This betrayal marked the beginning of the end for Caracalla. By the time he was ready to launch a full-scale invasion, the Parthian forces had regrouped, making the campaign far riskier than he had anticipated. The king's escape turned what could have been an easy victory into an extended and costly conflict. In April 217 CE, as tensions escalated, Caracalla's reign came to an abrupt end. While traveling near Caria in Mesopotamia, he stopped by the roadside to relieve himself. One of his unhappy bodyguards, Julius Martialis, seized the opportunity and stabbed him to death. The prefect of the Praetorian Guard, Macrinus, orchestrated the plot and succeeded Caracalla as emperor. Macrinus is the character whom is played by Denzel Washington in the new Gladiator II movie. Caracalla's ending was as brutal and sudden as the reign that he had led. His dream of emulating Alexander the Great died with him, instead leaving a legacy behind of betrayal and destruction. Did you enjoy this video? Then I recommend you watching this one. I want to thank everyone for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you.